A lot of this information is meant for mouth to ear. I'm doing a service to you guys sharing all this information. You get a full seminar every time I come on here. My lives don't be short of 3 hours. So imagine what it's like. We're going to do it in Atlanta, March the 7th and the 8th. I keep telling people, March the 7th and the 8th. March 7th, we're going to do RéKnowology 102. March the 8th, we will go through the science of the Neteru, and we're on Het Hiru, right? That's dealing with the heart plexus. So you guys come on out. Tickets are still available. I got to get that disclaimer. Seating is limited. Once we reach the capacity of people that I can have in there, because see, they be trolling me in real life too. Said, thank you for the history lesson. Oh, you're welcome, beloved. That's not really a history lesson. This is RéKnowology. This is your science. Everything that we talked about today is relative to right now. I didn't get no history lesson. You got to get my book, The Paruti Paradigm, and you will get a history lesson out of that. But outside of the range of that, this is why we have events. Because when you sitting in the event, because we going to take a bathroom break, right? Get people a bathroom break. After they get their little bathroom break in, then we give people a lunch break. Right? After the lunch break, we come back for lunch. We do Q&A after that. And they can't put no community guidelines on an event. Because I put that credit card down. You hear me? I put my money on myself. And I put it down like, well, there it is. Let's go. They be like, oh, shit. They can't drop the live in when you're sitting there in face-to-face. And a lot of people have all type of blockages that be stopping them from getting to the event. They be hell-bent on coming to the event, but they end up getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? They end up getting blocked. Like, damn, man, something keep happening. I can't make it. We having another event in July the 26th and the 27th. That's going to be the AAA workshop. So if you don't have the necessary funds to take my discourse, I'm discounting it for the workshop. Tickets available on the website right now. That's in July. I'm giving people, and I've been telling y'all about this since November, about July. I've been telling y'all about the one in March since September. I tell people in enough time, but TikTok shadow bans me. You know, many of you guys don't have it in you to just come to the page and say, hey, man, let me look through this and see what he's talking about. Let me go check the website out. You done created a neuroplasticity in your brain. Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. I go to people's actual page and see what's going on your page. A lot of people page, they're not on here to play TikTok. Those people that ain't on here TikToking, they only got 2 videos. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, this person is really into the content. Some people pages I go to, I don't see your face. You ain't even doing no little selfie, nothing. I don't even know who the hell you are. And then you got a bunch of videos up of other people's shit. I don't know, like man, I can't get down like that. I don't know who you are. But you come see me in person and embrace me, right? You can assess me in person and get some real pertinent information that I don't give out across the TikTok. Because you already got a litany of beings that's sitting on the other side of this wall right now. And they taking notes. They writing everything down. And they waiting for me to come off of TikTok. And they're going to siphon this information and attempt to regurgitate it and put their own little P. Diddy remix on it. And that's fine. All I ask that people do is to cite their source. Tell people about this platform. Don't be trying to hold me hostage to the masses. You need to spread this information, right? In this great day and time called Noontide Ray. Yeah, but they knocked the live down. They knocked down my live and suspended it. I had to appeal it, and I won the appeal. But we ain't gonna play with them all. I'm waiting till about 40 or 50 people get in the room, y'all. Once 40 or 50 people get in the room, we just gonna take it on over to the other to the YouTube. I ain't gonna even play. I ain't got time to keep going back and forth with them. Shouts out to the 1089 tech community. As you guys do know, this is Maha Sri Lakshmi Friday, and you got to play the Maha Sri Lakshmi mantras. If you can chant it, say it 108 times, right? Say them 108 times or play them all day long. If you have smart televisions, put them in your house. I mean, put it on the YouTube and play it on all the TVs. Play it on the laptop. Play it on all your cell phones and tablets, right? Allow the vibrations of that to triangulate through your house. That brings prosperity, fortune, good business, right? Positivity. It starts to magnetically draw not just into your life, but into your full reality. But you had to do this shit every Friday. That's the day of Maha Sri Lakshmi. Why you think everybody get paid on Friday? Most people get paid on Friday, right? Says spell it. Maha Sri Lakshmi, M-A-H-A. That's Maha Sri, S-R-I-L-A-K-S-H-M-I. Maha Sri Lakshmi. Sri. I ain't gonna try. I can't sing it like the little Hindu lady. And that's some Hindu shit. See, I listen to everything. I'm not racist. I'm not biased. If I see something that's working for somebody, I'm gonna try that shit. Y'all heard me give it up to Grandfather Jade Emperor, right? That's an Oriental deity. And I'm tapped in with that shit. It worked. It worked. You got to have the discernment to look past your limitations and look past what it is that you're capable of understanding in order to get some real results, you guys. I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell y'all that. After they shut the land down and all that bullshit that went on the day of my Faj, May the 8th, 2004, I went to the Buddhist temple and I sat with the Buddhists and I ohmed with them. They was like, damn, this nigga ohms is strong. You know what I mean? Because the Tibetan monks came all the way to Tibet from Tibet to visit us on Tamaray, right? And another time, I started going to the ashram with the Hindus. I started going there too. I learned a whole bunch of shit from them Hindus, man. You hear me? Big Wheels said I was there. Okay, Big Wheels, right who back? Keep out the ant. Right? Yeah, so you can't just limit yourself. And that's the main thing that the doc taught us. You know, you just couldn't say that you was a Muslim if you was in the Ansar Allah community. You had to learn about the Hebrew, the Islamic Hebrews, right? Took it from the Islamic Hebrews and went on into the degrees of Judaism, which they call Mosheism. Went through the language, went through the customs, went through the dress, right? Went through all of the traditions that's covered on that calendar. Then he took y'all through Christianity as well. Just didn't limit us to say, oh, you just got to be a Muslim all your life. It don't take your whole life to read the Quran. It don't take your whole life to read the Bible. it don't take your whole life to read the holy tablets either. That's putting yourself in a state of limitation. So I could sit with the Asian man, the Oriental. I could sit with the Hindus, right? In half. I sat in the Buddha temple. I sat in the Ashram temple. I even sat out there at Freedom Park with the Caucasian people that don't be wearing no shoes or socks and have the fake dreads. I'm not limited. I don't restrict myself. I stay open and receptive to everyone, right? That's what gives you access to more. But if you limit your understanding, you will miss those windows of opportunities to grow and evolve beyond your limitations. Okay, we got about 47, 48 people in the room. Thank you guys for coming back, right? Thank you for coming back. Y'all seen they suspended my live. They cited me for misinformation. I told y'all, they be trying to look for a reason like, yo. So I be telling y'all to tap that screen. Say, well, you spell it again. Yeah, y'all got to join the community, man. They was glitching me a lot. Yeah, that's why I tell y'all, join the community. Shouts out to the brother that first came in. He was like, man, you need to have your own platform. I do got my own platform. I already got it. That's Shamari, put it in the comments section. Maha Sri Lakshmi. Maha Sri Lakshmi. All you got to do is touch the mic. Maha. M-A-H-A. Maha. Sri. S-R-I. Lakshmi. You can spell it L-A-X-H-S-M-I. Yes, there it is. Maha Sri Lakshmi. Pull it up on the YouTube and let that shit play. Stop listening to all that damn trap music and start listening to something that's going to give you a benefit. It's going to bring a benefit to your life, right? Yeah, Mahadiva, that's a good one too, Shambo. Shambo, your picture, today when I was listening to that mantra connected to Mahadiva, right? And I seen that you liked one of my videos and you started following me or something right when I was turning this shit on. I was like, damn. I'll be in alignment, man. Mm-hmm. Let me show you right now. Just so y'all know I ain't playing. I know y'all can hear it. You're going to hear it as I get closer. I got this playing at my altar. But I'm going to show y'all in real time. I'm going to let you listen. You hear that? This has been playing the whole time I've been live in the background. That's been playing the whole time in the background. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new. Right? Let's get the board back out. I knew they was going to attempt to block the live. Oh yeah, we will have clarity in this great day and time. All right? We will have that clarity. See, it's all about mastering your mind. You can't let your mind master you. Some people will let their mind master them and they'll end up selling their soul. Their soul is up. They'll bargain their soul for some nigger trinkets. But what they don't realize is if you sell your soul, That shit could be bought and sold. So you will sell your body, you will sell your time, you will sell your mind, you will sell your well-being. And then the person that purchased it will sell you to somebody else. Right? We spent too many years. I told you, 78 years of your life. They leave you 22 years. Right at the end of your life, they're like, yeah, go ahead. You can retire now. They call it retire. They done tired out your ray. The ray is the soul. And you didn't let it happen. Because you want to operate on the unconscious level, not operating on the conscious level. Only thing we concerned with or we become aware of is our desires, our selfish emotions. That's what stopped you from tapping into your higher senses. Exactly, Shambo. You know what time it is, man. Snambo. Excuse me, loved one. So we done dealt with the esoteric and the exoteric aspects of Haru and Hiru. Anybody got any questions? Any other questions before we move on? Forgive me for that brief interruption that we had, you guys. That was a brief interruption. On behalf of the TikTok haters and the haters of the TikTok community community guidelines department. Y'all be hating. Y'all gonna make me y'all need to follow me on YouTube. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all thought I was lying. That first thing they gave me a restriction for, I deserve that. But that second one, it wasn't no need for that. It was no need for them to take what I said out of context. Okay. Thank you, Shambo. Yeah, I know about the Nagas, the serpent people, right? And that ain't got nothing to do with that Bible shit, y'all. I seen the prophecies of reincarnation. I watched that back in, man, that was like 2005, 2004. It's over 20 years ago. I used to sell that DVD. I'm not limited in my understanding. And a lot of people be limited. Yeah. But see, your breathing and your breath, when you start putting when you take your conscious effort to breathe, then you could bring the unconscious mind into submission or to go into obedience and discipline, right? And it won't get in your way when it's time to meditate. And now the unconscious mind could come fully online in the awakened realm. And it's wild for shouts out to Shambo. Shambo, this is no bullshit, man. That mantra that the Mahavita, that shit came on and I was plugging my phone up before I got in the shower and it had sent me a notification that you just liked my video or you just followed me or something. It happened simultaneously. I was like, damn. But I get up real early. Soon as I get up, I go pour my libations. That's the first thing I do, sometimes before I even take a piss. That's how that shit go on an unconscious level. Your ritual should be performed on an unconscious level. I'm going to say that again. Your ritual should be performed on an unconscious level. If you waking up and just doom scrolling and sitting in your bed, you just doom scrolling and shit, that ain't doing shit. You got to get up and give some reverence first. Give your reverence first. That's right. That shit gotta be on autopilot, man. I don't, that's how I be drowning my plants sometimes. I was like, damn, I done poured too many libations. Yes, of course. I've been on this over 29 years. I used to astral travel and sit with Credo Mutwa. Let me go ahead and give my testimony. I give you guys my testimony, man. I was astral traveling and I kept popping up because I was watching a lot of David Icke, and you know, he was like a practitioner, or not a practitioner, but a promoter, or advocator for the things that the late great Credo Mutwa, may the ancestors be with him, who was the shaman of a Zulu priest. He was a Zulu high priest. And I was meditating. I would always be meditating. I meditate in the morning, I meditate at night. I go to sleep and I'll be astral traveling. Once I started to take gold Ethereum, which is monoatomic gold, and I started taking 1,200 milligrams of that every other day. Every time I would go to sleep, I'd end up wherever Credo Mutwa was. At first, I'd just be standing back watching. And one time he was sitting there, it was him, and it was like 4 other people. And they all had those amulets and talismans on, like how he had. And he turned around and looked at me and did like this. And he set his hand down like that, right? Like telling me to come sit. And so I came and I sat there, and I got a whole bunch of information sitting in those circles, right? Yeah, they took the trash. They took the trash, Nikki. They didn't take the trash. They took the trash, but they didn't take that extra trash. The fuck? What difference is it gonna make? I'm sorry, I'm talking. Anyway, this one particular day, this is the middle of the afternoon, right? This when I first started building the Orgonite pyramids. It was real hot outside, and I was outside working with the orgone, and I had already one of my pyramids complete, and I laid down to take a nap on my couch. I took the pyramid that I built. It wasn't like this one; it was a step pyramid, but I took the pyramid and I sat it on my solar right here, right in the axis area between the heart chakra and the solar plex. I laid down and I heard somebody knocking at my door. And I was like, it was like, do 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 do. I'm like, man, who was that? So I turn around and I don't see nothing. So while I'm turning around and I ain't seeing nothing, I hear the knocking still. So I said, somebody trying to fuck with me. And I jumped up off the couch. And I used to have my keys on my belt loop. I didn't hear my keys swinging. And so I turned around to see if my keys fell, and my body was still laying there with the pyramid in my hand. I opened up my back door. Listen. I opened up the back door, and all I seen was space. I seen stars and all type of shit. I walked out of there. I wasn't afraid because I just sat with Credo Mutwa a few times. Listen to this testimony I give y'all. This is real deep. Some of y'all done heard parts of these testimonies. I'm about to bring it all in. I step out the door and I turn around and the door wasn't behind me no more. I turn around and it was this 9 to 10 feet tall being. The nigga looked like Serge Ibaka. For those that are familiar with basketball, y'all know who Serge Ibaka is, and y'all know where he from. He from the Congo, right? This being was the color of this screen. And he had every crystal that I had in that pyramid that I had on my chest. He had them around his neck, but it was like in a herringbone. And when he touched it, I could see the tip of his fingers was swollen. He had some extra big fingernails. And I was like, damn. I knew it was a reptilian. His teeth was extra gleamy white. I never seen teeth that fucking bright. And I said, Joe, who are you? And he said, I come to take you on a visitation. I said, a visitation? He said, yeah, come. Will you come with me? Some told me like, yeah, I was compelled to say yes. I said, all right, yeah. We was talking mind to mind. I said, all right, come on, let's go. All of a sudden, when I turned back around from looking at him, because he was behind me, when I turned back around, we in a whole nother solar system. And I can't interpret the names that he was using because that's not a part of our lexicon or whatever. Yeah, he was peaceful. But this nigga was almost 10 feet tall. He was tall as a bitch. And I knew he was extra tall because I came up to his hip bone. You know what I mean? That's big. But I was in my astral form. So I knew that he couldn't like do nothing to me physically. So I'm like, damn. And I said, that's what I asked. I said, what is this? And he said some weird name I never heard before. And he said, this is my solar system. I said, is this where your people come from? He said, no, this is my solar system. He told me that he was from Sirius A and that his grandfather gifted him a solar system for his birthday. And I seen a couple of crafts coming into the solar system. He said, you see those crafts there? I said, yeah. He said, those are my movers. And they're bringing plants and different insects and different animals from other solar systems to place on the planet where me and my family are going to stay at. I was like, damn, for real? He said, yeah. He said, would you like to meet my family? I said, yeah, come on, let's go. I was bugging out because it was just weird, man. All of a sudden, we like on this beach and we walking up this beach and he told me about the people on this planet. And he said, the beings that's on this planet, he said, we stay too close to one another. He was like, that's why y'all always in conflict, because y'all don't got enough space. Then he showed me a map of our planet. He had shit just popped up in his hand, our globe. He said, look at all those humans. Look in China. He was showing me China. He said, look how close that they all stay together. That's too close. Then he showed the people in America. Then he showed me my apartment complex. I stay in a townhome complex, but it's still an apartment complex. Right? And he was like, why are y'all homes connected to one another? Someone is being selfish with the space. Y'all too selfish with y'all space and y'all got limited space and it's a bunch of space. It's like, that don't make no sense. He was like, y'all would thrive on your planet. He said we would live twice as long. You hear me? Everyone would get along in harmony if we ain't stay so close to each other. Said it wasn't like that on his planet where he grew up. Because I had asked him exactly. Of course it's by design. We know that. You know, I got that much. And he didn't even have to explain that to me. What's understood don't need to be explained, right? So he was like, because he seen that I was tripping that he had got gifted a solar system for his birthday. What the fuck? I said, your grandfather must be a very powerful, influential being in the universe. And he said, no, not really. No. And he told me he was from Sirius. He was from Sirius A or C. He was from the Sirius star constellation, right? I want to say he was from Tau Ceti. Don't quote me on that. But he was black. And he made himself look as human as possible. And as we walked up the beach, Exactly, exactly, bro. That's right. We talk about cars and jewelry and designer. This motherfucker got a solar system for his birthday. Type of shit is that? You seen how that? I was like, that shit had me befuddled. Like a solar system. Then I could see the crash landing and shit. You hear me? They was seeding trees. I was like, damn. And while they was seeding all that, right? Who bet? Usada. Ani Nazorin. Right? And he took me to his crib. The crib was plush. But when we walked through the door, his wife looked hideous as a motherfucker. She had like snake-like eyes. And she had that snake tongue. Her tongue was like going all over the place. And she had these little gnats and flies was flying all around this bitch. I was like, ugh. Right? And he was like, hey, he said something to her. He was like, fix your appearance. I have company. And she was in the sink or something in the kitchen. And she was like, fuck him. She ain't say fuck him, but whatever they was talking, I was picking up on it because when you in your astral body, you got to use your higher senses. So I was picking up on the telepathic communication of their verbiage. And she was like, fuck him. He not supposed to be here. And then I'm not about to switch up my appearance for him. And you shouldn't either. And I was like, damn. And he was like, just chill out. He was like, come, my friend, come with me. These are my children. And it was like this long table. I want to say it had to be about 7 to 8 feet long, the table. And it had about 7 to 8 little beings. They stood about this tall, right? Put a 9 in the comment section if you guys remember the movie Critters. Y'all remember Critters back in the day? All my Gen Xers, I know y'all know Critters. And all you Gen Zers and millennials, right? They look like critters. These was reptilians with fur on their body, and they was solid black. Critters. Critters. That shit for real. See, enough people leaving a 9 in the comments section, they could pick up what I'm putting down. These motherfuckers was sitting at a table, had to be about 7, 8 feet long. The leg that they was all eating on a leg. And the leg had to be about 5 feet long. It was the leg and the thigh portion. And they all had a piece of it. And they was just eating that shit. And it was like a little bowl up under it, catching the blood as it dripped. It was a weird looking type of blood, but it still had that plasmatic effect to where it was red like. And they was just chewing that shit like it was corn on the cob. They had blood all on their face. One of them, his tongue came out. It had like a little maggot on him. And he licked the maggot off his eye and ate that shit. I was like, oh my God. I'm just giving y'all my testimonies now. Y'all want to know some shit? I'm telling you some shit now. You hear me? And I was like, man. He was like, I could tell this is disturbing to you. I said, yeah, it is. But I'm cool. I said, I want to see some more of the stuff that they bring into the planet. And then he started showing me the crafts that had landed. Of course, they was putting trees down in there. He said they're going to build like a rainforest around his crib so that his children can go out and just go eat in a while. You feel me? Then he started showing me the different insects and shit. And he grabbed one. It was like a dragonfly. The nigga grabbed a dragonfly. This damn dragonfly, what can I compare this to? This shit was about the size of a fucking vulture. Remember, these motherfuckers, this nigga was almost 10, he had to be about 10 feet tall. Because I came up to his hip. I'm only 5'9", right? On a good day, 5'9.5". Maybe 5'8.5". Who knows? But I came up to this motherfucker's hip bone. And he grabbed the damn dragonfly, and that shit was trying to sting the shit out of him, but the type of skin that he had, it wasn't doing shit. But I was like, yo, man, I want to go back home now. I said, I think I've been away from my body too long. And he just laughed. And when I went back home, listen, I don't know what time it was when I went to sleep, but when I got back to my body, it wasn't like a long time had elapsed. Yeah, I actually had one of those too. I did die. I died in 2003, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. I got it on my uploads on my channel. You can check it out. Now check it out, y'all. From that experience, I'm bugging out and shit, right? I'm like, damn. I had to unpack that. I had to twist one up. Exactly, Shambo. I had to twist one up off of that one. I was like, shit. Damn. Fuck, I was fucked up. I was just like, man, I didn't know how to process that. So later that night, right? Fast forward. I got my tablet in my hand. I like to sit in my car and I just be looking at my tablet, watching shit on YouTube. And while I'm sitting in the car watching this shit on YouTube, a Credo Mutwa video came up. And in this video, he was talking about how the reptilians came and got him. And they was sharing interdimensional secrets with him on, you know, bending space-time and traveling and shit. And they told his ass that if he wanted to see if the technique worked, that it ain't no coming back. If you want to come back, you're going to have to figure out how to get back on your own. And he was like, yeah, show me the technique. And I don't know what's the name of the video on YouTube, but it just popped up in my feed. And I watched it. And he said that the being took a piece of glass, like a Coca-Cola glass. And he broke the Coca-Cola bottle and took the piece of glass and told him to carve off a piece of his penis like you peel off a piece of potato skin. And then he'd tell him. He was like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. He said, I'm only doing that to make sure that you don't tell nobody what I show you. And so he did it. He said it was the most excruciating pain that he ever felt. But the second it got real excruciating, the blood that was in his hand disappeared, the glass disappeared, and the pain disappeared, and the scar disappeared. And he was on a craft with this motherfucker. And he seen the earth behind him out a window. And he was like, yo, I want to go back home. This wasn't him in the astral. He said it was not a dream. This wasn't a vision. You know how he be taught, for those that know. No, this was no vision. I was there. My body was there. And they told me I could not return. Only way I could return is if I learned to return on my own. And I did not want to go. I said, please take me back home. Said the motherfuckers were so pissed at his ass that when they sent him back home, they sent him 5 years before the event even happened. And he been catching up the time ever since. That happened all in the same day of me having the experience with this nigga. Now listen. I got a brother named Congo Real. Shouts out to Congo Real. Because this is how I started working with the altar, y'all. Congo Real had been following, he been hitting me up for like the last 30 days talking about like, yo, son, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, what's up? And he was like, it'll be other people around me. You know, I had a lot of motion in Atlanta. No ayahuasca, no none of that. You came in late. You're on the tail end of this. I ain't gonna break my story for you, right? Congo was like, yo, man, I need to holler at you, son. He from Brooklyn. Shouts out to Congo. I'm like, damn, man, what's up? He said, not right now, son. Another time. I'm like, is everything all right? He's like, yeah, everything cool. Then he called me again, like 2 days. He called me, like, yo, where you at? I'm like, shit, I'm on Candler Road. He's like, for real? I said, yeah. He's like, yo, son, I'm gonna just talk. I gotta see you. So I think this nigga want to borrow a couple $100 or something. You hear me? You know how niggas is. I ain't even thinking outside of nothing. And to make a short story shorter, 30 days didn't pass. It's money making Fridays. Sri Lakshmi. I'm at the barbershop getting it in. I used to sell DVDs, CDs, the bootleg of Visus and all that shit, the academic jeans. I used to sell all that shit, right? And Congo see me. He was already there. He's like, yo, son. I'm like, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, hold on a second. I got a lot of customers waiting for me. So I had like this big suitcase full of movies. And I opened up the suitcase. I took out my DVD player, like, yo, y'all go ahead and get your rock out. Let me go holler at my man right fast. And I could trust the people in that barbershop. That was my community barbershop. So I go outside. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, son, come over here for a minute. I'm like, man, what you want? What you want, Shalomo? Right? I'm like, what you want, Shalomo? He's like, I was like, you need a stimulus package? That's what I'm thinking. He's like, no, son, I got a message from your grandmother. I said, huh? He said, not the grandmother that you got in Detroit. I'm like, that shit had me fucked up because I'm like, nigga, how you know I got a grandmama in Detroit? He was like, this your grandmother that passed, son. She been gone for about 13 years now, haven't she? And I was born on the 13th. Remember I told y'all that earlier? Listen. It's some real shit. He said, she heavy set? I said, yeah. He was like, she got red locks in her head? Like curls, not like the dreads. I mean, like she got curls. Thank you, timekeeper. And she said, I said, yeah, that's her. I said, what? She said, you can see her? He said, yeah, I can see your grandma, son. She here right now. He said, you've been doing a lot of astral traveling lately. And listen, the ancestors in your bloodline was trying to get your attention. And you've been leaving off world. You've been going far away and doing shit that you shouldn't be doing without checking in with your ancestors first, man. And it was like, he told me that you shouldn't be doing that type of shit and you ain't been showing no honor to your ancestors. And so I started seeing my mama Floyd. He was like, hold on, son, hold on. That's a wig. And I knew my mama Floyd wore it. She's like, she got cornrows. I said, yeah. As soon as he said that, I seen her standing up. She used to carry one of them sticks. I used to stick her with the the insulin. I used to hit her with the insulin and rub the Bengay on her and, you know, whip up her Metamucil for her. I used to love my mama Floyd, right? And I said, I could see her. I started to smell her. Because I remembered the Bengay. I used to put it on her. I remember the smell of the Metamucil. And I started crying. Nigga come out the barbershop like, yo, Cake Man. They used to call me the Cake Man, right? That's an acronym. Not for that cake ass nigga shit. But they call me Cake. That was an acronym. Creatively applying knowledge and economics, right? And he was like, yo, Cake, man. Hey, you all right? Nigga came out to tell me something about a movie, but he was like, yo, you okay? I said, yo, I'm all right, man. I'm crying and shit. I was like, I'm good, man. They was like, yo, man, my man fucking with you? I'm like, no, chill out, man. Go back in there. Go, we talking. I'm crying and shit. I'm like, go back in. I'm all right, y'all. I'm all right. And I was like, damn, man, what I need to do, Congo? Congo told me that I needed to go home and set up an altar. I had about $600 on the table in the damn barbershop. I put my shit up. I let everybody get their shit. More people was like, yo, what about my movies? My movies. I was like, man, we're going to have to do this shit another time. I zipped my shit up and I went straight home. Before the sun set, I took about 7 pieces of wood and I built me a fucking altar from the ground up. Before the sun set, I had an altar up with a plate on that bitch and a picture of my mama Floyd. Before the sun set. And I sat there all night just telling her to forgive me for not remembering her. Because my mama already had an altar. My mama had been working with an altar for about 7 years at that time. And I used to go over her house and shit. And I'd be like, Ma, can I pour the libation? She'd be like, yeah, go ahead, Baba, go pour a libation. I was her only child that wanted to pour a libation. Because I knew about all of that type of stuff a little bit, surface level. But I was being called to ritual. And from that day forward, up until now, I wish Congo was in here. He'd tell you. He'd tell you. Like, yo, son not lying, he's telling you the truth. And Congo was the truth. He come from several lines of practitioners on his mother's side and his father's side. They come from Uganda and Congo and Cameroon all the way to America, where they had him here in the States, in Brooklyn. And I ain't gonna tell that part. I don't know if he want me to tell y'all all of that. He telling me don't tell y'all that, but he all the way to Brooklyn. If you see the nigga, you would just think that let's tap the screen, y'all. If you see that nigga, you wouldn't know none of this. You would just think he a regular old street nigga. But no. And people in my community that heard this story before, I did a seminar one time. I forget which seminar it was, right? You guys will have to tell me. Shirts available on the website. Forgot what seminar that was. I want to say that was Spiritual App 3.0. We held it in Atlanta. And I had 10 VIP tickets. Only 10 tickets. No. That was 3.0. Thank you, Spazzo. That was 3.0. We ain't had no more room. That was the first one where I ain't had no, it was, the seating was limited and there wasn't no room for nobody else. I had to turn a couple of people away from the seminar that day. Y'all don't know that, but I did. I had to turn them away. They was like, damn, dog, I done came a long way. We from Chicago. I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. You should have bought a ticket. They was like, we thought it was going to be some more room. Like, man, you can't assume about this shit. But anyway, at this event, I had 10 VIP tickets. I called them the Emerald tickets. And all these people got to sit with my beloved brother Congo Real. And I told them, I said, Joe, he gonna know who your ancestors are, who your grandmother, your granddaddy, your mamas, your daddies. He gonna see them. He gonna tell you their name. He gonna tell you some shit that only you would know. Because he did tell me some other shit, which I won't divulge here, that nobody else should be knowing that shit but me and my mama Floyd. That's how I knew that it was fucking for real. And that's what happened, y'all. You could hear the people in the what's the name, right? You could hear the people in the hallway. Am I lying, Spazzo? I'm sorry. Oh. Everybody was looking around and shit like, oh shit. The sister came in crying and shit. I said, who next? Everybody was looking like, not me. I'm not going. Niggas was scared. But I had to do that to show and prove to people that this shit is not a game. Most people think this shit just a joke. They see me with this staff in my hand. They come, look at this nigga with that stick. He looks silly as hell. Ha, ha, ha. This shit is for real. And everybody that got a ticket that day, they seen that this is not a game and that this ain't just some old hocus pocus snake oil bullshit. You hear me? Only one person didn't need to see Congo, and that was my Century. And I told him that when he purchased the ticket. I was like, yo, man, let me give you your money back. He was like, why, man? No, Doc, no, I want to see Congo too. I said, Joe, man, I just got a prompting from your dearly departed that you don't need to do that, man. He was like, no, you sure? I said, yo, man, I'm telling you, you golden. They telling me right now. That's why I told you to take your money back. He was like, nah, I want to see him anyway. Let me see. Now his wife. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta tell this stuff. I ain't trying to tell y'all business. I ain't gonna tell all your business. Shouts out to Mother Edinburgh. You was there. And Mother Edinburgh seen him too. You hear me? Mother Edinburgh seen him too. And for the being that said, hey, how do I hook up with him? I'm not hooking nobody else up with Congo. You got to come through my community first. I got to vet you out and see what type of shit you on. Because that man booked up through July. He booked. He a high priest of the Apollo. He Apollo high priest. He a Igbo high priest. He a Ifa high priest. Yoruba. He sit at the top of all of these shits. And this my nigga. me and Congo go back at least almost 30 years. All the way back to the land. You hear me? And I gotta get his testimony to some of y'all, because I keep telling y'all the reason why y'all are here is because you got somebody that has passed on the other side. And they wondering how come you on that bullshit and you ain't doing nothing for them. And I keep telling y'all that my own ancestors, my dearly departed, is looking out for some of y'all dearly departed. I'm doing more for your people and I don't even know who the fuck who they are. By proxy of my mother, may the ancestors be with her, right? And just the recent, my mama that put my sister in a position. That's what that shit was about, dear eyes, that dream you had the other night. You know what I mean? But it's a vetting process. And I've been chosen for the people in the New World of North America to bring them up in a certain way so that y'all can make this connection. But y'all want to play with it and, you know, y'all be trying to siphon information from me and shit. I don't know your ass. You got to go through my vetting process. Because when I used to do this shit for free, what the fuck they do? They want to start putting pentagrams in the floor, start putting hexes on people, putting binding spells on people. I didn't do this for that. It was for you to connect to your dearly departed. So I had to switch up the whole way that I show people how to construct their altars and everything that I show you with that, what comes along with it. And I had to start charging people. I'm charging the shit out of you now, and the price gonna keep going up. The more y'all bullshit, I'm gonna price a lot of you niggas out. Because you already been bullshitting too long. You already missing the goddamn, the promptings. Thank you, timekeeper, that keep coming to your ass. Y'all want everything for nothing, and you ain't did a damn thing. You ain't did nothing for them. They be pissed. And 9 times out of 10, it be the trolls. The people that come in here trolling, them be the worst ones. Y'all be embarrassing them. Some of y'all grandmamas be telling me how sorry your mama was and how she had to take care of your ass and how she died prematurely because she had high blood pressure because your mama couldn't stop smoking dicks and using drugs. You don't know how many of them damn stories I know about. And I'm talking to the trolls. I ain't talking to nobody in particular. I'm talking to the trolls that be coming in here. That's why I get animated like that. The people that be coming in here, Jesus loves you. They got a grandmama that, man, that shit be sad, man. And shouts out to Dia Oz. Dia Oz can confirm what I'm telling y'all. That's one of my advanced students. She's advanced. And she not a sister. She a Irish girl. She be crying. She was crying and boo-hooing. She was like, Doc, I think I seen somebody in your family last night. She was taking care of the souls that nobody been pouring a libation for. These people was decrepit because ain't nobody pouring no energy into them. Y'all walking around here with your chest poked out talking about you a god or you a goddess. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, please, you was a fucking nigga. You got to go put some gas in the car. You got a Metro PCS phone. You got to talk on an iPhone. You ain't no god. You was a human. You signed up to be a human. Y'all be caught up in y'all delusions of grandeur. So how do I connect with you? Y'all need to purchase Orgon from off the website. Got to purchase that Orgon from off the website, beloved. That is your initiation into our community. From there, everybody that purchased something, I give you a live consultation. You get a consultation with me one-on-one. Everybody that purchased the Orgon, not the people that purchases ancestor money, not because you done bought one of my books. You got to get a piece of Orgon, right? You got to get an Ankh. Go get a pendant, right? Get you a pendant. No, you can't purchase this staff or rod, man. Only way I make rods for people, you got to show to me that you've been initiated into a spiritual system. You got to show me that you've been certified to get out here and be a healer by somebody that has some type of ranking. You got to be certified by somebody that's been verified to do what they doing. If you ain't got all of that shit, you think this shit is this not cosplay, brother. When y'all come out to these events, and some of the people could tell you, shouts out to Mother Edenberg. Mother Edenberg, the staff knocked her off her feet one time. I told her to take her OrgoniteTEK off. She ain't want to take it off. She was like, I want to put all my tech on. I was like, Mother Edenberg, just take that shit off. She ain't want to take it off, man. That shit knocked her on her ass. One girl, she had to get sent to the hospital. And it wasn't because something was wrong. She thought something was wrong, but she had, I don't want to tell her medical history or whatever, but whatever it was, it had brought up, you know, those old things. It was still an energetic stain in that area. And I told her before it even happened, I was like, yeah, you got a problem with your sacral. She was like, damn, how you know that? I was like, yo, man, I trust myself. I trust my oversoul. When it's telling me, I just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people come, they got trauma, emotional traumas just locked in their subconscious mind. I bet all of that shit out when I hit you with this staff. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't a game. This is not a game. And like I tell you guys all the time, for a lot of you, I'm your last hope. You might have to cite, you will end up on that side and you got to hear it the rest of the time that you over there. Like, because that had already happened to 5 people that I know personally that then crossed my path, that don't know me from no social media. They know me in real time. And I told them about all of this shit and they laughed it off. Now they ass over there and they got to hear my sister. They got to hear my mama get on their ass every time they see him because they breaking them off. Like, yo, man, my son tried to tell you this shit and you thought it was a fucking game. You thought he was on some bullshit. You thought he was making this shit up. Now you over here and they be begging, can I come with you? No, you can't come here. We can't go where I'm going, baby. You got to stay right here. I'm just here to take care of you. Make sure you're good. I got to go now. But it's not a game. But like I told y'all, I'm not here to try. I'm not going to over convince you. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn like that. I'm not going to twist your arm off and like, hey, you got to just listen to me. Like, fuck that. You don't want to listen? Go ahead. I don't give a damn. Y'all, all the people, all my students, y'all know my saying. Don't say that you haven't been told. Don't say that you haven't been told. If a Nubu spin the block on your ass and be like, yo, man, we sent Dr. Ray to you. How come you ain't listen to him? Don't lie to him. Do not lie to a new, I don't know who need to hear this, but do not lie to a new boo. Don't lie to him. He a cool motherfucker. He dispatched souls into a suitable station in the human afterlife. Yeah, Anubu, Ampu. Where we at? Do I got him up there? Oh, I ain't even got you up there, Anubu. Damn. Sorry. Anubis. You know him as Anubis. Right? You gonna say, hey man, then we sit, we lined you up with him. So you wouldn't have to be right here. I forgot. That ain't a good enough excuse. The spiritual dimension does not spare your feelings. That's why you here, right? That's why you here in this dimension, so that you don't have to have your feelings spared. You here to get all that shit out the way while you here. And a lot of y'all wet the bed and shit the pamper. And like Kobe Bryant, who also going through some type of bouts of hell, he going through some crazy shit in purgatory right now. I'm just keeping it 10K with you. You hear me? I'm just keeping it 10K with y'all. But he said it best. We think we got more time than we actually have. And y'all keep bullshitting. Oh man, I could just do that shit another time. Instead of getting that ticket to come to these events, some of y'all will throw your money on a stripper's ass who ain't gonna even show you the time of the day for doing that. She'll sit with you and laugh with you for a second, nigga. She gonna get up off your lap and she out of there. You could have the shit you gonna learn at these events, that shit gonna carry you into the afterlife. The stuff I teach my community, you might go 10 lifetimes and don't hear none of this shit. I know that you be on this damn TikTok and you don't hear none of the damn shit I done showed y'all on the board today. I know it. Because I go through the lives and I see what people talking about. They not talking like this. Y'all doing yourself a disservice, man. That's all you doing. And you making it harder on my people to take care of your people who they don't even fucking know. I done gave my people so much ancestor money, they find it necessary to help me help them. Because I done did it for them. They got some empathy for them. Like, damn, that's fucked up. Let me. It is what it is. But see how I just unpacked all of that out of you guys asking about Credo Mutwa. Anybody got any questions? I know I fucked some of y'all up. He said you teach noon science. I know about the noon. I know about noon science, the new pool. All right, I got sound right reasoning. I'm a 9 ether nuwab science. I'm a 9 ether scientist of Nuwabu. Right? Yeah, I'm a 9 ether scientist of Nuwabu. I was initiated. Said free Dr. York. May Dr. York be removed out of duress. And I'm going to say this every time I see somebody say free Dr. York. The chief, Naya Shabu Il, had the remedy to release the doc from duress. And the administration of the so-called, I don't know what the fuck they call it, the Sabins or whatever, they blocked that man. They blocked Chief Naya Shabu Il from getting him. Somebody had to be a part of the Yamasi Washita, and they had to be registered. They had to have a Bureau of Indian Affairs number. And that brother had that shit. And Deuce Y York, you know you blocked that nigga. I seen the video in real time when it happened. I seen it happen. All of y'all ass conspiring against, y'all don't want that man out. So not free my master teacher, remove him from his duress. And all them punk ass niggas that conspired against him, talking about he touching on the children and all that shit. That's some bullshit. See, I was there. I didn't live on the land, but I was there enough to assess what was going on there. Man, none of that bullshit going on. So many people, so many of those people was, so many women was throwing their daughters at the dock. Doc, have a baby with my daughter. You hear me? See, they don't want to talk about that side, but I'll talk about it. And can't none of them niggas say shit to me, because I was there. I know about phase 1 too. Shouts out to phase 1. Shouts out to phase 1. I'm real cool with his auntie, Don Nicoleone. Shouts out to Don Nicoleone. They done shadow ban Don Nicoleone from the YouTube. She go that hard. Shouts out to the Don, baby. I'll rock with you, Don. She know that. That's my baby girl. Yeah. See, you just hear about these people through the Instagram, Ebrofool. I don't know, Ebrofool. But I was there. I had a pickaxe in my hand. I had a wheelbarrow in my hand in real time. Look like I'm out my goddamn mind. My what's her name went out. See, I'll wear a mic out. I'll wear a mic out. We could keep teaching for the next 5 hours. My battery gonna go dead before I go out. And see, it's a whole bunch of stuff I could discuss, but I don't say that shit online. You had to join our community. That's why I be telling y'all to purchase something off the website. A lot of you niggas got the spirit of lack. Y'all got poverty demons all over your body. Y'all scared to spend some money on something that's going to take your life to a higher level of consciousness. You said you didn't Is that where it went down when I took the picture down? As soon as I said Dr. York. Okay. Okay, let me go back through it again. I said, this is the land right here. I was there. And what I was saying was, for that nigga that's on the Corey Holcomb show, I don't know, it's Craig, whatever the fuck your name is, and you tried to throw the doc name under the mud, right? Whatever Joe Budden said to you, you didn't have to bring up the doc. He said, what is the community? Because I'm Nuwabi, and I left the Sabians years ago. Yeah. Y'all heard what I had to say about the Sabians, right? About Chief Naya Shabu Il. Did y'all hear all of that? Okay. No, this the yeah, y'all heard that. They okay. Well, y'all just saying no, you just came in here late. That's why you missed it. Yeah. Okay, I got through that part. Now, I was saying was the accusations against the doc, the people that made those accusations against him, they recanted their statements. And people know that shit. They know they recanted it. They know that shit got recanted. But a lot of y'all don't know that the R.J. Reynolds family stayed right across the street. And they got pissed off when Wesley Snipes purchased 300 more acres next to the dock, and they was going to annex their shit together. He started building a Hollywood security force and was starting to offer brothers jobs and was going to show niggas how to do all that martial arts shit that he could do so that we could be, you know, armed security guards for celebrities. That was going on in real time. You hear me? That's right, King 9 5 star D, star 5D. This shit, that's why they locked him up. That's right, Amin Ra Studios. That shit's some real shit. See, a lot of these niggas, and what I was saying was the nigga that's with Corey Holcomb. And I was saying, somebody get that message to Corey Holcomb, man. That nigga's a fucking agent you got next to you. Joe Budden said something against you, and you gonna try to say we was building illegal pyramids. Nigga, you a Mason. I know you a fucking Mason. I'm not no Mason. But you was Corey Holcomb's handler, nigga. I know you fucking helped orchestrate all that bullshit that went on with that nigga. And Corey Holcomb, you won't even know it, nigga. It's the nigga next to you. Y'all try to say, oh, it was Anton Daniels. No, it's the little yellow nigga next to you. Y'all gotta watch these little light-skinned niggas. They be mixed up. You hear me? They belong to the Masonic temples. Yeah, they all fucking agents too. Anybody that's saying the word black, they a fucking agent. You hear me? Y'all hear what I say about that word black? They trying to keep y'all ass in the lower field of consciousness. Let me take my hat off. It's getting hot in this motherfucker. Right? They want to stop you from getting to your higher senses so that you can use your discernment and tell that they bullshitting. They don't want you to see them like that. And that's what the 1089 TV, we will have clarity. I'm raising people to rule their mind, right? To master your mind. Don't let your mind master you. You're supposed to have a discernment to see certain shit. They don't want you to have that. That way they can rule over your ass. Anybody that says something against the doc, especially that little light-skinned nigga on the fucking what's the name. Fuck Joe Budden and wasn't no Nawapian or nothing like that. Yeah, I seen that video this morning. I seen that goofy shit, nigga. You are Corey Holcomb's handler. I know that they fucking assigned you to that nigga. And you tripped him up. Corey Holcomb ain't aware of it. What I said when my mic went out is something they just restricted my live, y'all. We gonna go over we gonna take it to the YouTube. We just gonna go take it to the YouTube. That's what we gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna stay on here for about 6 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And if y'all want to really hear the real, y'all want me to keep going, y'all gonna have to come join me on YouTube. But I'm gonna need about 15 minutes for I got a supercharger. I can make my phone charge up real fast, right? And come join us on the YouTube, and we'll keep the dialogue going. The YouTube is the same one as the profile picture, right? Everything the same. I think I still got the tree link in my live. I mean in my bio. Just put 1089 TV and I'll pop up. You could Google me. See, you put RéKnowology in your search engine, I'm gonna pop up. It ain't gonna be no Wikipedia. It ain't gonna be nobody else but me. You put Rudy in there. Only I'm gonna pop up. Put 1089 TV. I'm gonna pop up. You hear me? But I'm loyal to the soil. I ain't fucking going nowhere. And see, I was there on the land. I wasn't there for the first pyramid. I was there for the second one, though. I was there when they started I helped start putting up the role of the deities. Right? I was helping with a lot of these monuments. See, and that's why I took them pictures of it. I was there. You see that? See Anubis right there? I helped build on this one too. You hear me? This one too. I helped paint on that. I was there. You talking to somebody that was there. I wasn't no main contributor, but I put in my sweat equity. And I've been sitting back watching these niggas for a long time. And a lot of these niggas is agents. They all fucking agents. They all sell out for a little piece of little nigga trinket. I'm just telling you. And I know that they did, because the motherfuckers that came at me, at least, they done came at me. They want me to influence some whole other people. They don't want me to be talking to y'all. Come on, man. I love my people. How am I not going to love myself and not love my people? Knowing the things that I know and to the degree that I've been raised to. I'll be doing my own self a disservice, but I am my ancestors' keeper. Y'all come join us in Atlanta, March the 7th and the 8th. For the people that ain't going to follow me on the YouTube after I come off of here, March the 7th, RéKnowology 102, The Science of the Natural, March 8th. Yeah, they dropped my views real quick, man. You know, hey, man, they got to. They got to, because their time is up. He said Egyptians was never black. Egyptian is a Greek word. When you say Egypt, that's what the Greeks called it. They self. Said you in the A2. Yeah, man, come on out. Come get hit with that staff. Come see me in person. Ask me whatever question y'all want. Yeah, man, 369 Bleezy, you was a troll. You was a troll, my nigga. You look like the police. You chill your ass out. We just mute you. How we handle people like you. Yeah, March the 7th and March the 8th. Tickets available on the website, 1089techvision.com. Right? Egypt is a Greek term. Isis is a Greek term. Osiris is a Greek word. Pharaoh is a Greek word. Pyramid is a Greek word. Set is a Greek word. Nephthys is a Greek word. Horus is a Greek word. We are not Greeks. We are Tamarans. That was called the land of Amun-Ra. Really the land of Amun-Re, because Ra is a Greek word. I belong to the ancient Egyptian order. I was initiated into that order too. And been a part of it for over 28 years now. So cut the crap. Don't come into if you ain't got no questions, that don't even matter, y'all. We gonna get on off of here. Yeah, man. Y'all see what time it is. Give me about, if you on Eastern Standard Time, that's gonna be about 4:15. It's about 4:15. Come join us on the YouTube. All right, we gonna get on off of here, man, because these motherfuckers hating on this fucking app. They hate too fucking hard. They done sent the police in here and shit. All right, so who am I to? See you guys on the other side. Let me charge my phone up. Why do?